Previously on
Mochi making terrible life decisions.
Now, I procrastinated on editing this video. It's really bad. See, you can see how I was trying my best not to move the top teeth and it started to make some weird, looking expressions. If I just did a half body model, I could just avoid it, you know? So, we're at the final episode for this series. Well, this season, not series. I still have one more, season to go and then this series is over. But anyways, this is where I kind of did the finishing, outfits and whatnot. So, pretty much off camera, actually, I don't think this section's, off camera. I think this is just me putting all the stuff into warp deformers, actually. And then later on, I would get to rework, actually rigging it. For some reason, the arms and everything, they just moved. When I first drew the, file and everything was kind of, perfectly fitting and whatnot. But then I had to, then after I rigged a few things in Live2d, I must have forgotten, keyframe stuff for, the breathing or something. And then it just kind of messed everything up. So I had to go in and, readjust everything. It was small, but, it was kind of annoying, you know? But yeah, that was for the sorcerer outfit thing. Again, you just gotta make sure you rig the bottom layers before the top layers. Of course, for some reason the breathing was not working for the shirt, even though I was putting it in the same warp deformer. So I had to go in and try to fix everything. It was annoying. Also because I was extra, I decided to go back and color code all of my folders. So yeah, again, I was starting to rig, So rigging the second outfit, I would say it's way easier than the first outfit. There's no crazy layers. The only thing about it was that I had drawn the entire necklace and I wasn't supposed to. I needed to cut out a bit of the necklace because I used draw order. So that was annoying. So obviously just kind of doing my same process, just rigging everything, just making it look decent. Also sorry that I sound like I'm dying. I don't know what happened, but at the time of recording this, I just have something weird in my throat. And I'm sniffling a lot. I think it's allergies. I don't know what happened, but we're just gonna deal with it. So every time I had to do the corners of the body and everything, sometimes the shirt would just leave a slight crack or something. You could see the chest and base under it. So I had to go in and fix that, and that's always annoying. Oh yeah, and obviously his secondary outfit has these bracelets. So I had to go in and rig him. It was really annoying. But it's fine, it's all part of the process, you know? So you'll see me trying to test out how the body rigging looks and everything. You should always test out your rigs. I always recommend exporting out stuff to VTube Studio in the middle of it, and then just seeing what's wrong, fixing whatever issues. I never really do that. I didn't really do that with this model. I just kind of rigged everything near the end. I did all the VTube Studio stuff near the end, try to fix all this stuff later. But I should just see stuff in the middle, export my model in the middle, make a work in progress, blah blah blah. Anyways, you'll see me rigging the pant legs for this now. I do not like rigging pant legs whatsoever. Like I said in the last episode, I'll say it again, it's my least favorite part. It's just annoying, you know? Especially since, I'm doing, the Z movements and everything. The legs move around a lot. I suppose it would be a lot harder if I was doing, a actual step motion. But this is not really, a step. This is just him lifting up his leg, you know? Because I am too unskilled to do a step motion. Maybe one day. But for now, I was kind of just doing like just this leg lifting up. I could get away with it, I guess, you know? So obviously after I rigged the one pant leg, I just copied pasted it, kind of just flipped it, you know, the same process, because you work smarter, not harder. And obviously, like, you know, I only did the leg movements for Y and Z, so that was interesting. I'd say like out of all of the clothing items, shoes is probably the easiest to rig once you rig like the legs. It just needs to follow like just needs to follow the feet, and the feet, like, you know, they just move, but they don't distort as much as like the rest of the legs, if that makes sense. Like, they distort a little bit, but just not as much. I will have to say that, like, you know, the feet deform a lot, and that's because I'm an amateur. I don't know what I'm doing. I wish that they didn't deform as much. Like, that's one thing I really hate, but I just need to get better at rigging. So obviously, like, you know, the secondary outfit, it was done really like quickly. I had to go in and just do physics now, and I decided to do physics for the necklace because I thought it would have physics. Like, I don't think it would just be like stiff. If he was like turning his body, it would at least like go a little bit. Of course, I struggled on like trying to do like the physics for the necklace because it's kind of like, you know, oh, I have to like shift it directly on the thing. And obviously I had to go back with like draw order and just like, you know, fix it all, which is annoying, but it is what it is. And then I did like the physics for the pant strings. It's very subtle. You're not even gonna see it most of the time, because if I ever used a VTuber model, you would just see like the half body, you know? So, and plus, like, you know, the movements are like really subtle, but it's these small details that I really love in VTuber models. You may as well just do all the detail you want, because in VTuber models you can just do a lot. Like, it's crazy, really. You can't do this with like normal animation unless you want to cry. So after like, you know, the secondary outfit, I got started on the sorcerer outfit, and rigging like, you know, the head angles to the earmuffs or whatever. It was easy. I was lazy though, but it was easy, and we're just gonna move on from that. So, no, I guess I really took my own advice this time. So I guess I did rig the bottom layers before the top layers. I remembered my mistakes from Yongsang. See, guys, I can do this. So of course, like, you know, I did a lot of like testing out, making sure that like it looks right when it moves before moving onto the sleeves, blah blah blah. There's not really much I can like say here. Oh yeah, that part, that's annoying. So the sleeves aren't like completely short, so when he like, because I have the arms like go in when he goes up, when he does that and he goes to the corners, it just like, it kind of just clips in the most annoying way possible. Yeah, I hate draw order. I wish everything could just be behind, but I can't have it all just be behind. I have to make it look reasonable. So of course I rigged like, you know, the vest next. There's like a lot of layers to this, because when I was designing this, I had to keep in mind like, you know, like a lot of things. I had to ask myself like a lot of questions, like okay, what kind of like thing does he like need? What kind of like, what would he have if he's like an ice sorcerer? Like, would he have like this like, would he have all these like layers and other stuff? Just a lot to think about in terms of character design. I'm no character design expert, but I did reference a lot of my knowledge from other people who are more like experts, you know, those who went to actual art school. I did want to go to art school. I still do, but it's not gonna be it's gonna be hard for me to get in, especially because these other people, they took like what, art classes? They got like a lot of like like high school art classes and everything, and I never touched a high school art class. My fine arts class was like, my fine arts credit was literally theater. My original plan was to do both theater and art, but that did not happen. Anyways, so back to the model, less about my life because we don't need to hear that. The pants make me want to die, as usual. Like, I think we've been new. At this point, I should just give everyone shorts. Like, seriously. So, the shoes, obviously, easy. Just easy, just morph them. Morph them to fit the feet. That's literally all I could say. I'm not over how I just never designed proper shoes for any of these designs. I mean, the secondary outfit was literally just me pulling it out of my ass because I did not have a reference sheet for him, but I should make a reference sheet for him. Him and Hye, which is like, you know, my other character, you know. They don't have reference sheets because I was lazy. That's no excuse, but like that's like why they don't have reference sheets. But yes, something I did was like, you know, kind of did some weird parallax effect. I don't think that's the right word. But like, you see less of, I did it with Young Sing's tattoo. When you see like, when the arm turns, you see like either more or less of like the markings. Makes it look 3D. And we always like it when it looks 3D, you know? So I couldn't copy paste and like reflect it because it did not like reflect on the center. Well, it reflected to like its center, but it didn't reflect to the entire canvas center, if that makes sense. It's one of the biggest gripes I have with Live2d. It just for some stuff it doesn't like reflect to like the canvas's center. It just reflects to like the object center. Oh yeah, so after I did like, you know, basic rigging, I decided to do like, you know, the physics, because obviously you gotta have some physics for the amulet. But that's not the only thing with like this outfit, I guess. I would have to like rig in like a few other things. You guys will see later. Now, doing like draw order and then having to do physics on things later is annoying because, you know, the draw order. But I guess I could have put it in like a separate warp deformer and just do it like that, but I was not thinking. So I would have to go in and edit every single keyframe with a draw order so it shows up, and it was just a painful time, but hey, we survived and that's what matters, right? So then I would do like, you know, the physics for like, you know, the bottom of the bottom of the coat thing. You guys won't even see it, but it doesn't matter. I just like being extra, you know. Obviously not accurate physics, but that's okay. What matters is that, like, you know, it moves somewhat, even if it's not like by a lot. What else did I have to do? I think I filmed a little bit of VTube Studio setup. I definitely filmed up like me having to do a few idle animations because idle animations are important. Oh yeah, here you'll see me do like the in-between keyframes. Like I did with like Yongsang's like outfit for his like Horseman of Death form. I put in-between keyframes for this too because, you know, you can set the fade settings for VTube Studio, but for a lot of these toggles, I just have it at the default, like 0.5 seconds, so it'll like switch to these like keyframes, which I think is cool. Okay, here is where I'm working on the idle animations now. After like, adding all the stupid crap. So, obviously, we just kind of gotta animate stuff, you know. I set the keyframes and then I began just doing it, I guess. It was actually difficult to animate the keyframes because I was lazy. Well, because I didn't properly split up some stuff, and I was lazy. Yep. So I just like brush tooled everything. If you want your things to look good, please do not just brush tool it. At best, you can be mid. You know, some prodigies are like scaled, but like I'm not a Live2d prodigy. I just kind of just do that for fun. So obviously, like, I was working on the sleeping animation too for like tracking loss. Because, well, you know, that's what happens. I was trying something new with the sleeping loss animation, but I don't think it worked. I don't know how people do it. Like, when the tracking loses for my model, like, you know, it doesn't just go to sleep immediately. Like, other people's it just, like, goes so smoothly, but, like, mine, they just kind of just stand there, even if I set it. I think I'm doing something completely wrong. Oh yeah, now you'll see me do some quick VTube Studio setup. You may as well include this in, like, the dang season, you know? And yeah, you can see, like, you know, I'm just like trying to figure out what the heck is like wrong with some of the stuff because like the idle animation wasn't playing for some parts. And then I found out it was the stupid draw order. I swear the draw order literally ruins everything. But that's kind of what happens when you animate on like the same thing. This is why people make a bunch of war performers. So I got back to like setting up a bunch of other like emotions and everything, and after like kind of cleaning up this model, like, you know, and just making sure everything looks fine, it was like done. Okay, so here you can see like the test I'm doing. I just want to like let y'all know that obviously my tracking's not good and it's very rough around the edges, but it's fine. I'm like switching through the toggles, kind of just making sure it looks fine. I didn't speed this process up, this thing up. You know, it's kind of like the ending model showcase, sort of, you know, rough version. But yeah. So the thing I want to note about like the sorcerer aura and some of the other stuff, so I used add, which means like, you know, it's not gonna like show up like at all. Everything is set to add. It's just in the model showcase video, it will not show up at all. It will be just transparent. So I wanted to like let y'all know this, but at least you guys can kind of see it in this. And I zoomed in so you guys can see like the idle animation of the amulet because I'm not going to be able to do that with the Live2d showcase. And yeah, that's pretty much all for this model.